Welcome to Denver Parks and Recreation at home. My name is Corbin.
I'm Dre.
And we are part of the My Denver team. And today, if you might see it in the title, but we're doing 1 ball, 1 billion games. I do have to let you know though, our computer space, we don't have enough memory to do 1 billion games. So we're going to show you our top 10, our favorite 10, using just 1 ball. So if you watched any of our live shows, or if you haven't, we like to do a few things of the day. So our first thing of the day, socks of the day, crucial. And if you really know us, you gotta know we love our crazy socks. So my socks of the day, I got koalas. And Dre, what you got today?
Basketballs, of course. Shout out to the NBA being back in the bubble.
So that is our socks of the day. We also have our riddle of the day. I will give you a riddle. If you're watching online, comment in the answer if you think you get it. If not, just see if you can test yourself. Are you ready? How far can a fox run into a forest? I'll repeat it one more time. How far can a fox run into a forest? Think about it, write it down, tell your friends, spread the word, and that is our riddle of the day. And then our last thing of the day, things I learned today. Did you know, following our sports theme kind of today, did you know that ancient Greeks and Romans, dating back hundreds of years ago, used to wear shin guards like they do in soccer right now? It's true, they did. They wore them in battles and different things, and we adapted it and to use it in our own soccer sporting world. And then fact number 2, thing I learned today. Did you know that Adidas spent 2.5 years testing the ball for the 2014 World Cup? They used over 600 players, 30 different teams to make sure they had the perfect ball for the World Cup. And those are our things of the day. Now we're going to jump into our activities to show you our top 10 favorite 1 ball games you can play at home during this time. Alright, game number 1, monkey soccer. This game is kind of a spin off of our classic game of soccer, or football depending on where you're from. But the way it'll work is we'll have our normal ball, normal soccer rules, but instead of using your feet, you're going to use your hands. And I'll explain this in a second. So Dre, what equipment do we need for this game?
So you can use anything that you'd like. You can use regular goals, but for here we're actually going to use cups. We're going to set them apart like you would normally on our court here and get going.
Yes, now this is a very small space in our little studio here, so you're not going to get to experience the full game of monkey soccer, because if you did, you probably know who the winner would be. But anyways, we're going to be playing monkey soccer. The way it'll work, ball starts in the middle, like I said, normal soccer rules, but you're going to want to hit it like this. You're tapping it. You're dribbling it with your hands versus with your feet. The other things you're not allowed to do, you're not allowed to grab it and pick it up like I just did. You're not allowed to scoop it and try to throw it. You need to be kind of like volleyball, making smacks and contact like that. So just to kind of give you an example, the goals will be much more spread out, but I'll be here, she's protecting her goal, I'm trying to score, I'm going to smack it, she blocked it, she's ready, she'll try to score, I'm going to go over here, maybe I pass to my teammate if we have multiple people, but that is the way monkey soccer will work. Another adaptation you can do off this and following our animal themed soccer is crab soccer. You may have played this in PE, it's one of our favorites. So the way to work is you gotta get in crab position. I haven't done this in a really long time, so we'll see how it goes. If you don't know what crab position looks like, this is your crab walk. And you gotta do same soccer rules. You use your feet, no hands, and you're trying to score. Nope, I missed it. So that is crab soccer. So monkey soccer, crab soccer, game number 1. Alright, game number 2, Gaga ball. This is a little bit of an adaptation because, as you can see, we don't have our normal octagon-shaped pin that you would play Gaga ball inside. And if you haven't played Gaga ball, well, welcome, you're going to love it. So the way this game will work, very similar to how we did monkey soccer. You're going to be ball on the ground, using your hands to tap it around. For this, as opposed to trying to score goals like monkey soccer, you're trying to tag your opponents, people you're playing against, out. So the way it would work is me and Dre would be in our room, our field, wherever we're at, where we want to play. And I'm going to try to take this ball, making sure I'm not picking it up, making sure I'm not grabbing it like that. And I'm trying to smack it and hit her in the foot to ankle area. If you play Gaga ball, you might recognize that rule. That is the rule. So ankle, foot, shin, knees, that's too high. You want to make sure you're aiming low. So we would be in our area, ball would be on the ground. We're trying to tag each other. If she hits me in my ankle, I'm out. I can block it with my hands. I might go back at her. She would be out, things like that. Now you can play this with a large group. You can play this with a small group. It's a really, really fun one, but that is Gaga Ball adaptation. All right, game number 3. This game is called Head Catch, or whatever better creative name you could think of. Basically, this game is going to be able to test how fast you can react and how fast you can listen to the commands that we're going to give. So, the way it'll work, we'll start with the simple, head versus catch. So, I'll have my partner, I'll toss the ball up and I'll either say head or catch. If I say head, she's going to use her head, try to bounce it back to me. If I say catch, she'll try to catch it. This is a great way to work on reflexes, young athletes, things like that. So, just to keep it simple, head, boom, catch, oh, yeah. And then as they get better, you can start adding in different commands. So let's see. We're going to add a spin, and we're going to add a knee. So you have 4. Head, catch, spin, and knee. Are you ready?
I think so.
Catch. Spin. Oh, no, just kidding. That wasn't not enough time. You can throw it higher to give them more time, lower if they think they're quick. Head. Nice. Knee. That works. Oh yeah. I could have told you. Show you the knee. But that is basically how that game works. It's a great listening game to see how well they can react. You can do it from farther distances. You can use whatever type of ball you would like. But that is head, catch, or a better creative name that you can think of. All right, game number 4. This game is called Human Pinball. Another one of our favorites. For this game, we had to bring out our friends Jackson
And Jordan.
They'll be helping us with this one to the best of their ability. So this game, the way it'll work, very similar to the arcade game you might play if you played pinball. You got your paddles and you're going to be hitting balls trying to get points. We'll show you how. So to get set up for this game, you're going to need to make a circle. We don't really have legs to do that with our people here. So pretend we're in a full circle, we'll do a half circle. So Dre's going to hop in. They're all going to be facing backwards, not forwards. So pretend they're backwards. So their legs are connected, they're in a little circle. You can come this way just a little. And we'll have one person that's going to be inside of the circle. What the goal of the group is, they're going to be, like I said, in a circle, hitting the ball with their paddles through the legs, trying to tag me, someone in the middle. So I'm trying to dodge, jumping around, they're hitting it. If I get hit, the people who are paddles, they get a point. If the ball leaves the circle, or someone misses it, it goes through the legs so they're not ready for it, whatever it is, the person in the middle gets a point. And you can rotate as you feel necessary. So just to reiterate, you're in a circle, everyone's facing away, looking through their legs, and they're trying to hit the ball to the person who's standing in the middle. And that is Human Pinball. All right, game number 5, SPIKEBALL. Now, you may have seen it in the park, on Instagram, all over. It's a very popular game right now. But not all of us can afford or already have the cool SPIKEBALL set. So we've made our own. You can do this with tape, as we've done here. You can do this with jump rope, hula hoop, whatever you're feeling. But the same rules will apply. And if you haven't played SPIKEBALL, we'll teach you real quick. SPIKEBALL is very similar to volleyball, but instead of having a net across, you'll have a net in the middle. We don't have our net, we have our little center space. So when you play this, when you're hitting it, you're going to want to try to have a harder surface to bounce the ball off of. Ball recommendation, we're using a volleyball. You can use an actual spike ball, a Nerf ball, a kick ball, whatever works best for you, or whatever ball you have laying around, and bounces hopefully. So our friends Jackson and Jordan will be helping us out. Jackson's on my team, Jordan is with Dre, and we'll be doing a little spike ball. Now, the way it'll work is just like volleyball and spike ball, you serve it, it needs to go into the middle, and once she returns a serve, she does her 3 hits. Jordan isn't going to be much help right now, and then she'd return it. I get my 3 hits, hopefully using my partner. We'd go back and forth and play a whole game trying to use this as our net. This is one of my favorite games to play. Hopefully you have the right balls to play it. But yeah, this is SPIKEBALL, and if you need extra rules or information out there, you can actually Google the rules for SPIKEBALL online. Game number 6, Foursquare. This one, not as unique as some of our others. You probably played it growing up, but this is just a little reminder, refresher, to let you remember all those good times you had, so you can play a little Foursquare again. Just to remind you, you can play this in teams. You can do 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1. And that's how we'll be doing it. So our partners Jordan and Jackson will be here helping. They're not much help. But Dre and I will be going against each other in Foursquare. The way it'll work, we start your designated starting area. So we'll say our first square to start in will be here. Whoever is eliminated will then have to go to the end of the line over here at the starting square. And your goal is to get to the king square, which we'll call this square right now. So once you have that designated, you're going to go ahead and start getting ready to play. We changed our ball out. We did a kickball instead of a ball just to go with the classic. But similar to SPIKEBALL, all of the other games we've done with a lot of hitting, that's what we'll be doing. So outside of my square, you can make it a lot bigger. Our studio is just a little restricted. So we'll come in. I'm going to hit it and try to hit into her square. She will hit it back. No catching, no scooping, no grabbing, just hits. So we'll send here. I'll try to go for that square. She can actually get these two and pretend that she's Jordan as well. So I'll go that one, maybe shoot that one. Oh, that was kind of a grab. Oh! So it looked like that might have been out of bounds on Dre. So that would mean because she messed up, she's eliminated from that little round. So she goes back to the top. She lost her space in the line, and I get to move up a space to this one. And hopefully I can end up in the king's square. So that is Foursquare in case you don't remember. And if it's a little different than how you did it, we apologize. But however you want to do it, however you want to get active and use your one ball, we recommend it. So Foursquare, game number 6. Game number 7, poison ball, or poison berry, or one ball dodgeball, depending on what you want to call it. But that's basically what we're going to be playing today. So the rules of one ball dodgeball is you only need one ball. You'll have an area, you can be inside, outside, wherever it is. Just remember if it's outside and you don't have the fence, you might be running after the ball. The way to work, we'll be spread out, we'll say go, and I'll be just like dodgeball trying to throw this one ball to get people out. Everyone is on their own, there's no teams. So I'll throw the ball, let's say I miss once we start. Dre picks it up, once it's thrown it is up for grabs, anyone can pick it up. So Dre picks it up. Once she picks it up, she is frozen. And from this frozen stance, she gets 3 to 5 steps depending on how you want to set the rules. So we'll say it's, for our space, 1 step. She gets 1 step wherever she wants to head. She can choose whoever she wants to throw the ball at. She might throw it at me. Boom, she hits me. If I get hit, I have to take a knee or I have to sit down. Whatever works best for you. But you are hanging out waiting, and I'm watching Dre because she's the one that eliminated me. The moment that Dre is eliminated, so let's say our friend Jackson sees that his boy Corbin got out, gets a little upset, he goes after Dre, hits Dre, because Dre was the one that got me out, I now get to come back in. So that is the way it kind of works. Remembering that you're not taking more than 3 to 5 steps, not trying to aim for the heads, be polite, be respectful, and no teams. So that is poison ball overall. All right, game number 8, Alaskan baseball or extreme kickball or whatever cool name you can think of, but usually we call it Alaskan baseball. This is one of our favorite ones from camp, but not a lot of people know it, so hopefully it might be new to you. So the way this game will work, you won't be having a diamond like you would in baseball or kickball. You're just going to need an open space, so that's number 1. Number 2, you will still have 2 teams, a fielding team and a kicking team that will switch every other turn. So Dre will be on the fielding team. Jackson and Jordan are going to be on my team for a second. So to start the game, one team will roll the ball, very similar to kickball. Now they're going to be way more spaced out. But she would roll it to me, just like kickball. She rolls it. Now I'm going to kick the ball wherever I want. I can even go backwards. Anywhere in the entire field that you've designated, you can kick this ball. So let's say I kick the ball as hard as I can, and it goes way over there. So while the team that's fielding is getting a hold of the ball and getting together, the person that just kicked the ball, me, is going to get up next to my team, and I'm going to start running around my team. Now, my team is either going to be linked up by the arms, they're going to be bunched together, however you want to do it. But my goal is to run around my team as many times as I can before the other team completes their task, and I'll show you that task in a second. So while I'm running around in my circles, every time I get to the top being one score, the fielding team, which I'm going to join for a second, will be over here. So let's say Dre found the ball, she picked it up. The team needs to line up as fast as they can. They're going to go over, and they're going to go under. And then the person behind them, over, under, until the whole team has gotten the ball through the line. The moment the ball has gotten through the whole line, yell stop, freeze, whatever it is. And the person, me, who kicked it, would stop running around in circles. And how many times I went around is how many points I just scored on that turn. So if I went around 5 times, it's now 5-0. You can switch, or you can just do 3 turns, however you want to. But usually we would switch. So then Dre would get a chance, I would roll it to her, she'll kick it, and she would run around her team while I'm fielding the ball. So that is essentially Alaskan baseball. Really awesome game. If you want extra information and rules, Google it. There's a lot of information online, but that is Alaskan baseball game. Game number 9, shockwave, or electricity. So the way this game will work, it usually involves a couple more people. So this is a great game for the family, if you're able to get together, whatever the group gathering might be. So starting out, you're going to have 2 teams, or multiple teams. There'll be one person at the very front of the line, one person at the end. The first person at the front, Jordan here, they're going to be looking at me. I will be the host of this game for now. And in my hand I have a coin. Normal coin, heads and tails. I'll explain what I do with this in a second. So while they're in line, they're going to start holding hands. So Jordan and Jackson, go ahead and hold hands. Thank you. Dre's got Jackson's hand. Everyone except for the person at the very front on both teams, or however many teams there are, everyone will close their eyes. So this ball is the prize. I will be flipping this coin, and the moment it lands on heads and either of these people see it, they're going to squeeze the hand of the person that they're holding the hand. Once you feel a squeeze, you pass a squeeze. As the squeeze, as the shockwave moves through the line, the last person, Dre here, is going to take off and go get that ball. Now you can set the ball at a far distance, you can set it close, you can have the teams battle it out for it, however you want to do it. But just to give you an example, Jackson and her eyes are closed. Jordan's looking at my coin. Jordan, pay attention. It's a heads. I wouldn't say that though. She would just secretly squeeze the hand the moment she saw it. He passes a squeeze. Dre feels a squeeze.
I got it!
And she gets the ball. If you get the ball, you get a point. And that is how shockwave works. And the more people, the longer the electricity, the better. One rule to make sure you're paying attention to, don't do any trick squeezes. Make sure you're working together and making sure it flows correctly so you don't cheat. And that is shockwave. And last but not least, game number 10, 500 or 1,000, but most people call it 500. This is a classic game from the schoolyard if you used to play it from PE, wherever you were. And it's one of our favorites as well. So just to kind of remind you if you haven't played it or if you've forgotten, the way it'll work is you're going to have one person who is the designated thrower. That'll be me for now. And then everyone else who's playing, right now we have our 3, Jackson, Jordan, and Dre. They'll be over there competing against each other, trying to get to 500 points first. So I'm over here. I might do something like 50 points. I say the point amount, I throw it. If I throw it up and Dre catches it, she then gets those points. Now, there are a lot more crazy rules to this game, and everyone has their own ways of playing it. So I'll try to go over a couple that are some of our favorites, but again, however you want to do it, whatever you find online, there's a lot of really fun ones. So another adaptation you could add is when I say a point, we'll say 100 points, you can say either pickup or no pickup, which means that if I say no pickup, if someone drops it and it hits the ground, no one gets any points. If I say pickup, that means pickup is allowed, and it don't matter where the ball is, I can even drop it right next to me. She can come then, whoever it is, pick up the ball and get their 100 points. So that's one adaptation you can add. Another one is mystery box. There's a lot of other things you can add in with this, but another one, so we'll say mystery box, I'll throw it, someone picks it up or someone gets it, and there's so many things you could do. You could do a point, you could do bankrupt and they lose all their points. You could do handcuffs, if you've heard of that one, where you have to keep your hands together until you get a key. You could do a key to free someone from their handcuffs. You could do ankle cuffs, or however creative you want to get. Just make sure everyone knows ahead of time what has been decided on. So just to give you one more example, 30 points, pick up. She can pick it up even though it's down. It's only 30 points, not much. She would be adding it up, trying to get to 500, and once she gets there, she would get to switch and become the thrower. One of the best games to mosh your friends, jump over them. A classic again that you've done from probably back in the day, and if you haven't, hopefully you try it out. So that was game number 10, 500. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. This is Corbin and Dre signing off.